And I'm already sick of Airbus Albo's mad spendathon, and the election hasn't even been called yet. Anthony Albanese clearly thinks voters can be bought off with their own money, and that during a cost of living crisis, we have somehow forgotten about his last lot of election promises, including his solemn pledge to cut soaring energy costs. I wonder, have your energy costs come down in the past 3 years? I didn't think so. But unencumbered by any sense of responsibility or economic literacy, the Prime Minister decided it was a good use of his time to be interviewed by some far-left simpleton troll who's virulently anti-Israel, anti-Australia, and a total hysteric to boot. Yes, the PM sat down with this woman for 90 minutes.
If you're a woman in Australia and you think the US election doesn't affect us, just know they now have permission to be outwardly sexist and support a rapist. Just know that. In your heart, know that they now have permission. They now think they are the majority, and they're so uneducated that they think that because they're the majority, they are right. They now have permission to be racist, transphobic. They have permission to laugh about our reproductive health and our reproductive freedom.
Yes, the PM sat down. Yes, the PM sat down for an interview with a woman who's so unhinged with extreme left wackery that she thinks Australia Day is a celebration of genocide. Her views are so extreme and intolerant that she has unfollowed friends who have any sort of gathering or party on Australia Day, even if they call the day Invasion Day. Anthony Albanese decided that was the person he wanted to do an in-depth interview with. The person who brings dangerously dumb lefties content like this. Here is Abbie Chatfield with Bassem Youssef blaming Israel for Hamas's barbarism.
For every person you kill, you create more Hamas fighters. Those Hamas fighters that you claim that you're killing, don't they have families? They want to avenge them, right? So the whole idea of like, oh, let's eradicate terrorism is not like a ghost. It's not like these are people, and before saying that, like calling them terrorists, you look at the daily condition that you've put in. Like this is like the biggest open air, not prison, because you go to prison if you did something wrong. This is the biggest open air concentration camp in the world, and it's like it's not an occupation, yes, because the world have never seen anything like this. And the fact that this has been happening day in, day out since 1967.
Concentration camp, yep. And won't someone think of the Hamas terrorists? They're people too, with families. Good Lord. That's the ill-informed trash that our dumbest young Australians are being exposed to. And that's the mob that Anthony Albanese has prioritised. They're the voters he wants to convince. Does he think anyone who listens to that crap is giving their preference or their vote to the coalition? So why pander to them, Albo? Who is advising you, Prime Minister? You speak about wanting to avoid division, but you then try to normalise extreme views from someone who says young Liberal voters have zero empathy and who looks forward to those voting for the Liberals to die out, to literally die out. I wish I was kidding.
We spoke to Adam Bant today on the radio show. Thank you, Adam. Loved talking to you. And I really am thinking that, or hoping, that in the next 10 or 15 years, as people who are voting for the Liberal Party literally die out and also metaphorically die out in the way they're thinking and how the world will progress and how the earth will either decline or progress. I really do think that eventually our two-party system will be the Greens, which will be the left, and then Labor, which would be kind of more like how we see the Liberal Party now.
Well done, Albo. What a leader you are. Remember when you said you were going to govern for the whole country? Remember when you told us you weren't woke? Remember those front pages? That any party you led was going to serve mainstream Australia? Then you immediately inflicted a race-based referendum on us, and you've been failing the country ever since. The federal election cannot come soon enough.